Yo, shout out to the Black Stars of Ghana. Yay. We qualified for the World Cup. It's been difficult, but hey, we've done it. Can't complain too much. We'll deal with the analysis of it later. But the thing is this, whether I like it or not, Sunday, Accra Sports Stadium, Ghana's going through. But I just need to get in on this debate that has been raging on social media about the whole clean sheet fight. Benjamin Asare, I've seen like Scott Gillan make the case for statistics and analysis and say, look, and not just him, others who have said, look, the Black Stars can do better than Benjamin Asare and that he's done well in the face of very limited opposition. Then there are those who say, look, he's done what he's supposed to do. And so whether you like it or not, he's Mr. Clean Sheet and the numbers don't lie in the games that he's played. So there has to be an equation for why does he not face a certain kind of shots as compared to those who might be considered a lot more talented than he is. Where I stand, I think that, look, both camps have a case. The thing is they just need to deal with each other and understand that, look, there will be times and moments. There is no guarantee, for instance, those who make the case for if he were to face a certain kind of opposition. Let's say Ghana comes up against Russia, or Ghana comes up against England, or Ghana comes up against Spain, based on what we think are his flaws, he will not perform well against those countries. The thing about football is this, there are a lot of intangibles. We've seen some absolutely horrible goalkeepers have amazing performances against some of the best opposition in the world. But then from that point, their careers don't turn out. That's the intangibles of football. We've seen some absolutely elite goalkeepers go to tournaments and have howlers. Everybody recalls David De Gea at the World Cup in Russia. He was top 5 goalkeeper in the world at the time. Went to that World Cup and was absolutely horrendous. Left with his confidence shattered and was never the same goalkeeper again. So there isn't really an exact way of saying that, oh, this goalkeeper at this time is going to fit a certain bill. I think that we need to make also room for the intangibles. Look, the thing about Benjamin Asare is this. I think he's gone through phases that allow him to be a bit calmer as a Black Stars goalkeeper than perhaps those who are supposedly and statistically better goalkeepers than he is. So Atisiki, Jojo Wallacott, maybe Joseph Annan. I think the process that has formed him as a goalkeeper, this is a goalkeeper who's been through Saint Mirren, has gone through phases of quitting football, has gone through phases of just being a Monday Stars goalkeeper, has gone through phases of Accra Great Olympics and Accra as a folk. Those two teams give you an openness to a certain kind of pressure. And having been molded through that, I think what it gives Benjamin Asare is a certain perspective when he's in goal, a certain calmness perhaps that rubs off his teammates, no matter the opposition that they are facing, whether high quality, low quality, and allows him to be the best version of himself. It means that perhaps he complements that group better than those who are more talented than him based on the intangibles, the unquantifiables that have formed him. Does that mean that when Ghana comes up against the big boys, he's going to succeed? I don't know. But there's also no guarantee that those who are considered better than him, if Ghana came up against limited opposition, and we have seen some of them against limited opposition, they did not do too well. Does that also mean that they only perform when they come up against high-level opposition? I don't think we can say so. So there is no winner in this debate for me. I just think that everybody must make room for the fact that statistically, there's a point to be made that, look, he does face a certain level of low-quality shots. He hasn't been tested. He has limitations to his game. But then the point can also be made that perhaps his ability to organize, his ability to communicate means that he doesn't have to do what supposedly a superior goalkeeper has to do. For instance, a superior goalkeeper will tell you, look, open the wall and let me face this shot. Benjamin Asare might tell you, put your body on the line and face this shot. A certain goalkeeper might tell you, I want only 1 or 2 in a wall. Benjamin Asare might tell you, I want 3 or 4 in a wall. So it's different levels of communication, it's different levels of skill that go into this. But I don't think it's just it can wholly be explained away by just science. And I don't think it can also be wholly explained away by just, the unquantifiables in this. So yeah, guys, let's keep the debate going. But at the moment, what is clear, Benjamin Asare is Ghana's #1 goalkeeper. Who would have thought we'd be having a conversation about Jordan Ayew being the captain that we needed, a captain at the right time? I'm not saying he's perfect, But if you look at the acrimony that had existed in the last 6 or 7 years when it comes to the captaincy issue of the national team of Ghana and how it had impacted the team's relationships and performances. Somebody might say, yeah, how do you know? But look, we've been there before, we know. The conflict between Andre and Asamoah at that time was not healthy for team chemistry. And so the announcement of Jordan Ayew at the time might have come a bit of a surprise. And if you follow Jordan Ayew, I mean, in the years that he's been, in the decade plus that he's been in the national team, nothing about him indicated that this was captaincy material. He's very introverted, barely says a word, keeps to himself, minds his business. He just wants to play football and go back home, you know. But I think for the time that he was appointed, coming on the back of the acrimony that we'd had, perhaps we needed somebody like that. Somebody that everybody, one, who was the most senior person in the room, performs on the park, and his performances do say so, do speak for him. 14 goal contribution, 7 goals, 7 assists in the World Cup qualifiers. Doesn't talk too much, allows people to be themselves, holds himself to extremely high standards, but also has the legacy for it in the sense that, look, I remember when he was appointed national team, he said, look, this is destiny perhaps. It was written in the stars. His brother has been national team captain. His father is considered one of the greatest captains of the national team of Ghana. So him coming in at the time perhaps has allowed others to thrive and be themselves because he's not looking for attention. Jordan Ayew is not looking to be a headline maker. He's not competing for eyeballs with anybody. He doesn't even want to be seen. And I think that kind of quiet leadership where people are allowed to be themselves but know that, look, there's a senior who is responsible for me and will also hold me to a certain kind of standard and who also holds himself to that kind of standard because he does perform when he's on the pitch. It's something that has been refreshing to see in this World Cup qualification scenario. And Otto Addo, we've criticized him for a lot of things, but I think appointing Jordan Ayew as national team captain might have perhaps been one of the best decisions that we had made. The timing of it and the choice of him. At the time, we might not have seen it, but the results speak for themselves, don't they?